You think those words were necessary? All of them? Even at 10?
Yes.
I didn't think so.
It's because it's my old man brain, man. It's my old man brain. But
Hi guys, I'm Dee, author of the Consumed by Heat series and one half of D&J.
and I'm Jay, the other half of D&J.
And this is D&J Book Chat. Welcome back to our channel. Now if you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring that bell so that you can be notified when we post new videos. Today we'll be discussing My Mom's a Twat by Anoushka Warden. Now this play is easier described by reading the blurb directly to you. The blurb is short and sweet, so is the book. So the blurb reads, my mom wasn't always a twat, but sometime after I turned 10, everything changed. She stopped taking me shopping. She regularly forgot my birthday, and she thought she could heal people. One girl's funny and honest account of losing her mom to a cult. That was the description. Guys, before we dive in, a brief disclaimer. This book does contain a lot of expletives, so if you're the type of person that feels uncomfortable or get jarred by hearing a bunch of expletives, this may not be the read for you. I didn't know it going in, but it did have quite a few expletives. So be warned if that's not something you want to listen to. Maybe skip this read, but you can continue with the video. Now let's dive into our thoughts. So Jay, we read My Mom's a Twat. What were your views on the book?
So basically, if you know me, and on my previous video of someone being from the UK, you know I'm going to love it. You know I'm going to be very biased and rate it high. So it's 1 hour worth of listening. I thought the description, the name of the book was a little bit. It's not something I really want to read. You're saying that your mom is a twat. No, I was going to pass. But after listening to it, it was really funny. I like the fact how hilarious it was. I'm not sure if this is literally someone's life. I hope it isn't, but if it is, it's kind of hilarious and unfortunate at the same time.
Well, it's a play, right? So for those who aren't aware, so My Mom's a Twat is a play that was basically written by Anoushka Warden, and it was played in London. It was for the Royal Court Theatre, and in 2018, it was actually, you were able to watch the play in London. Now, I'm not sure if it's a true account. It does talk about a cult that is still existent up to this day, well, up to 2018 when the book was released. And we listened to the audiobook that was released a few weeks ago. And I must say, maybe because I didn't read it, I know that it's not for everyone, but the book was a good book. It's basically made me believe. I couldn't relate with what she was going through, but I felt for her, right? I felt for that kid that lost her mom, because there are so many cults these days that it's easy to actually see it happening and believe that someone could be going through this. I did think that the book was it was entertaining. It was short, but it was entertaining, and it didn't really need to be longer in my eyes, because being longer may have made it tip over the edge, and it is a play, so you have to keep in mind that it was written as a play and not necessarily a novel. So I think the length of it did it justice. What I didn't like, as I mentioned before, was that I think a lot of the words in it was the bad words in it were unnecessary. I should have said this before, but guys, there may be spoilers going forward, so if you haven't yet read this play and you do want to read the play, go ahead and read it and come back. I'll drop the link down below of where you can grab a copy of the book for yourself. And I'll probably drop a link to the audio too, because we listened to the audiobook and that's why we found it entertaining. So I'll drop a link to the audio down below and you can come on right back. That was your spoiler warning. As I mentioned before, was that I think a lot of the words in it was the bad words in it were unnecessary. Maybe not, somewhat. I'm sort of cut on. I'm sort of half and half on it, because they wanted it to be realistic. The character was based in the UK, but they had her cursing from she was like 10. I do know like your circumstances depicts what happens in your life, but I just found that part of it a little bit unbelievable. Once she got older, like 16 and up, and realized that hey, her mom was actually becoming a twat, then the bad words didn't really it fit at that point. But then the ones before that, I thought it was just a little bit overkill. My opinion, you can form yours, but that's just what I thought. Do you agree, Jay, or did you think it was perfecto?
I won't say that it was perfecto. I will say, however, that the curse words were super necessary.
You think those words were necessary? All of them? Even at 10?
Yes.
I didn't think so.
It's because it's my old man brain, man. It's my old man brain. But I mean, it is wow. But yeah, it's hard to give a positive or a honest feedback regarding to the book, since this is it's now in spoiler effect. Man, they did Canada crazy.
Well, I mean, she was 13. We didn't experience Canada at 13, but she was 13, so she saw it as an opportunity of hot boys, jail, drugs, gangster rap. I mean, I think she'd have gotten that experience regardless of where she was, to be honest. Well, probably not the drugs and the jail and I didn't have those experiences. But I mean, you could have gotten exposed to that wherever you were. So I mean, but I get to the point where she was looking down on going to Canada. She's grown up all her life in London. She wanted to stay in London where her 7 siblings were and her father was. She didn't want to move with her mother and Moron to Canada. Moron was her stepfather, her mother's beau.
The dude from Canada.
Yes. So she didn't want to move to this cult with her mother. She knew her mother. She was losing her mother. She could feel it. So when she basically gave her mother the ultimatum that, hey, if you're going to go to this cult in Canada, you're going without me at 12 years old, she was secretly hoping that her mother would say, you know what? I'm going to stay with my child. I want to be where my daughter is or where my remaining kids are. Nope. Mommy didn't do that. Mommy left and went to this cult and expected her to visit every summer. So the first summer she realized that, hey, Canada may not be that bad. There's no military like dad. There is no rules because mommy doesn't care about me. Mommy's in this cult. So that leaves me at 13 to find all the hot boys, all the drugs, all the jail, all the gangster rap, anything I want. So yeah, she went down a path from there. But I mean, the journey shaped her. So it was bad things that she was going through, but I mean, at the end of the book, you realize that as she's grown up, her situations shaped her into who she was. Without those situations, she'd have probably been someone completely different. Because we see that by the end, she could have sent that letter and stood up to the mother of a cult.
Yeah. So right.
Even though she didn't get to send it to say what she really wanted to say in the letter, which was a bunch of expletives.
Which would have been awesome if she had sent it, because then I'm like, you're sending that, and she's like, no, I'm not saying that. I'm like, damn, that is such a good thing to say.
Because she's still respectful. That's the thing. She even though she knows that she's older now, right? So she's older now, so she's realizing that, hey, she doesn't have to stoop to their level to get her point across.
It would have been nice though.
So she basically she used a sophisticated way of saying that, hey, I hope that you're happy with all the family's lives that you have ruined. And it was impactful. It was still impactful without stooping to their level, without hitting them below the belt. Even though it didn't really do much, because they're still existing up to this day, breaking families and taking people's assets and money. So
that was messed up though. I'm not going to lie. When she was saying that, wow. But yeah, but I think what sold me on this book is the fact that, you know, this is probably the first time that I had to do such a extensive research. 1, 2.
Did you look up the cult?
No, that's the one thing that I didn't do. I looked up who wrote it, and I actually went ahead and to look at the narrator, and I must say, I think this is a first. This is the first time that I've truly enjoyed a narrator from beginning to end. That narrator made that book awesome, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think she really got her source material. She put herself in the person's shoes.
Right.
So it got faster when it needed to get faster, when it needed to give more intensity. It slowed down. Granted, I didn't really get the music in the background. I could have done without it. The book would have been good without it still. I didn't see the need for the whole. Some of the music was impactful, some was like iffy. So I mean, but the narrator, she really did a good job. She sold the book for me. I don't think I would have felt the same way about it if I had read it. So yeah, she really did a good job. So Jay, now let's dive into our star ratings, because we've been talking about this book so long. It would be good to hear how much you're rating it. So Jay, how much are you rating My Mom's a Twat?
Okay, so I was going to go for a 4, seeing that it's all UK and everything, and they did basically put in one of my favorite songs, which would be Passing Me By Bar Suede, which is probably one of the only songs that I actually know.
You're reading the story here, not the scores, okay? Stick to the story.
I'm rating the stories and not the score. Okay. So I was going to give it a 4. I really was going to give it a 4, but I really had to look back on the story, what I got from it and everything, and I'm going to settle for a 3.5, but it was really close of getting a 4.
Okay. Now, for me, it's a 3.5 too. I didn't lean towards a 4. I think not true. I think when the book first began, I was leaning towards a 4. Even after the first couple of chapters, minutes, because it's the audiobook. But then as the book went on and the more expletives that were used, it just became a little bit jarring to me by the end. But the storyline was good. The narrator did an excellent job. So for me, it's a 3.5. I think the narrator really saved this play for me. I'm not sure it would have been a 3.5 if I read the audiobook, but it's a play.
What is a book?
But it's a play. It's just sold in paperback format and Kindle, but it's a play. So as I said, the narrator saved this play for me. I'm not sure it would have been a 3.5 if I read it on Kindle, but because of the narrator, for me, it's a 3.5. So it's a 3.5 from Jay and a 3.5 from me, which makes it a 3.5 from D&J. Now, Jay, what are they supposed to do?
Subscribe and continue listening to my wonderful voice.
Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, and ding that bell so that you'll be the first persons to be notified when we upload. Thank you so much for tuning in to D&J's Book Chat, and until next time. Bye, guys.